It has come to my attention that Blade works really well in the first half of MLC 12, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Now the post I saw used Sunday, and unfortunately I don't have Sunday on my account, but I do have a reasonable replacement in my opinion, which is Bronya. Obviously Bronya is not as good as Sunday, but if you have E2 Bronya, it lets you drop the speed boot on Blade for an HP boot, and that's something. Okay, we're gonna put Bronya behind Blade for the Blade Bronya Blade tech. Hopefully Blade gets hit once. Nice. I think I'll tribbie ult first. Okay, and then we'll launch the follow-up attack, fully buffed, 278k. Bring Blade back. And we launch Bronya ultimate. Okay, and then we start wailing at the big boys with Blade. Let's see how much damage. 280k into 294k. So we didn't quite break the 300k threshold. Bit unlucky. I don't know if this will kill. I hope this kills. It does. So we start Flame Reaver with 2 follow-up attacks. Pretty good. Okay. Let me launch Tribbie now. Then Blade gets to go. Bring him back. And then his attack into Jade's follow-up is not enough to kill them, unfortunately. Is Tribbie enough? Tribbie has to be enough. Okay, thank God. We'll get another follow-up into a follow-up, and then Tribbie should have enough energy to get her ultimate back. How do I want to do this? Let's drop an ultimate. That will launch her follow-up attack. Oh, this is tricky because Tribbie can definitely kill him here with her ultimate, and that will save Blade's turn. But then it'll action advance my Bronya, which will screw up my speed tuning. So I actually think it might be better for me to basic here, let Flame Reaver happen, and then I'll tribbie ult here. Okay. And then we'll pop Bronya ult into Jade ult.
There's no backing out now for me or you.
Okay. So this is good because now Flame Reaver starts the next turn taking all the damage from the MLC buff himself. Okay. We're low on skill points. We're down to 1, and I feel like I'm gonna have to use a lot of skill points. Yeah, so Bronya is not gonna have the skill point to bring him back if I E here. So is the play to normal basic, trigger Jade's follow-up attack, then use E on Blade again. I think that's the play. Now I can E. And I can tribbie ult. Not that it will action advance anyone forward here. Then I drop the ultimate. Boom. Okay, and I could finish this off with cinematic Blade. 1%, there's no way Blade can't kill here, right? Boom. Okay, I wish she got the follow-up animation. Oh well. Can't complain. 1 cycle. That was a pretty comfy 1 cycle too. So yeah, Blade works really well on the first half if you have Tribbie. I feel like if you have tribbie is pretty important, and also if you have tribbie E1 is a bit more important. I'll go into my team builds and why I built them this way. It's not the only way you can play this. Like I said, I'll link you a Reddit post of the guy that inspired me to do this first half run. But one thing I do want to note is the more things change, the more things stay the same. And the reason I say that is because we're using Blade and Bronya together, which is like one of the early day team comps, but it works surprisingly well. And I guess the one difference is now I have Bronya E2. But the other thing is Blade is back on Longevis. So, you know, this was like the first set I ever farmed. And it feels good using it again. Anyways, let's go into the build. So how this team works, no sustain, but it's fine because Blade, tribbie, and Bronya are all tanky as hell. And then we just pray that they don't focus fire Jade. The MLC buff also is helpful. I think it buffs HP, which is really good for someone like Blade and for tribbie. Blade is E0 S1, maxed out traces, and here are his relics. So I used to run this piece, which had 3 crit rolls and HP. I changed it to this because for this team to work, Blade needs to be at above 101 speed. The reason is because I have Bronya on 161, and the reason Bronya is on 161 is because 161 lets Bronya act twice on the second turn. Because we're not doing a 0 cycle, we're going for 1 cycle clear, I do need Bronya to go twice on the second turn. Now you could say that the speed threshold could be lowered if you have DDD, but it's just to be on the safe side, I have her at 161 speed. And then so Blade needs to have above 101 speed so that when Jade gives him the 30 speed from her skill, and when Bronya gives Blade 30% speed from her E2, it would put Blade above Bronya's 161. So 104 plus 30 becomes 164, which is higher than Bronya's 161. That's how this team works. And so that's why I changed from this piece, which is arguably a better piece, for this one, just to get the speed to the right threshold. And then this is the piece I use all the time. Another piece that's really good. It might not look that good at the start, but note that I have 100% crit rate on Blade, so I actually don't want any more crit rate than this. And then this is my only 40 CV piece on my account. And then we have another 4 roller with 2 speed, and then another 4 roller. So Blade is really well built. 100% crit rate. There's no RNG involved in his damage numbers. And yeah, 8k HP. Pretty good. Now Bronya, I already touched on the 161 speed. Light Cone, S3. I just keep buying it from the shop. I'm saving my glitter, and I just buy more superimpositions. I might stop once I hit S5, but S5 is kind of my goal. Not really maxed out, but I kind of maxed out the important ones. And then I just gave her 2-piece speed and broken keel. I don't even know if I triggered it. I do. Okay, that's good. And then E2. E1 is a 50-50 on whether she consumes a skill point, and E2 is the 30% speed buff. Quite important. You do need the E2 for this team to work. Jade, E1, and S1. Near 100% crit rate, so she doesn't have a lot of RNG involved either. Traces are fully maxed out. Relics might look different from the last time you saw her. These are the same. 3 roll, 4 roll, 2 roll, 4 roll. And the difference is I finally put her on a Duran set. I used to have her on Salsado, but I got a Quantum Orb. It rolled horribly, but it's better than nothing. I don't even want to use a reroll dice on this because it's not a 4-liner. But anyways, I'm gonna use this. It's better than nothing. And then I have this, which is a 3-roller, so I can't complain about that. So Jade's at 96, 131. And then we have Tribbie. Tribbie is on Dance S4. She is E1. E1 is pretty big. It's a pretty big deal. Trace is fully maxed out, and she's on 4-piece Poet. I don't know if you care too much, but 4 roll. I got pretty lucky there. These 2 pieces I only farmed this domain, and by farmed I mean like I only entered this domain like 8 times in total. I got these pieces right away, which is crazy because I didn't have to waste that many Trailblaze power. Yeah, I don't know. I've been really lucky in the Poet set. I haven't been as lucky with like these, but I mean this is a pretty good piece to be honest. And then this is a pretty good piece. So I got through the Poet domain really quickly. This was like the fastest gearing up of a character I ever had. 2 days to get all these pieces is pretty crazy. Okay, and then the problem is I haven't been able to get a good loose Shaka set, but like this is good, but there's no crit rate here. And my tribbie is lacking crit rate. Like she has way more than enough crit damage, but I really want her to have more crit rate. Anyways, that's the team. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Blade is not... I wouldn't say Blade is that strong. I'd say this is more Tribbie doing the heavy lifting. And then Jade also put in a lot of work. But if you do want to use Blade, I do think the first half is quite doable. Now, I'll try and see if I can get the second half working. I haven't been able to do it yet, but we'll see. Maybe I'll try this team on the second half and then I'll update you.